Hello everyone, a very logical day to all of you. And here we go with the reading of the first editorial of the Indian Express, June 21, 2023. Flight to future. So you can understand flight is something to do with airplanes. So the reading part, two back-to-back jumbo aircraft acquisition deals over a span of 4 months seem to mark an inflection point for India's civil aviation sector, reaffirming the country's position as the world's fastest growing aviation acquisition deals over a span of 4 months. So this gives us an indication of that indication that the aviation sector is growing. Third biggest market globally in terms of the domestic traffic, budget carrier Indigo's historic 500 aircraft deal Monday with Europe's Airbus consortium was the most aircraft ever bought by a single airline, that is 500, eclipsing the previous record set by Air India's combined purchase of 470 aircraft from Airbus and Seattle-based Boeing in February. The two deals cumulatively ensure that India is now ensconced, that means deeply enmeshed, ingrained, in second place in the list of carriers having the largest aircraft order book. Behind the US, Indigo's order of its single aircraft coming on the back of Air India's orders reflects the optimism that the two players have about the potential of India's aviation market, which in May saw domestic passenger traffic numbers touch a record 13.2 million flyers, surpassing the pre-pandemic peaks. The pre-pandemic peaks, that means if it was here before the pandemic, after the pandemic, it grew here. And because this difference is there in the people using the flyers, you can say in the traffic numbers. So this deal first with the Air India, with the Airbus in Seattle, buying Boeing, right? And the second is the Indigo's historic 500 from Europe's Airbus. So these are two deals here, Air India and Indigo. Two deals show that we are there firmly ingrained in the second place. तो ये ensconced का meaning आ जाएगा हमारे पास, right? This shows optimism here. Because we are there in the second place and because there are two aircraft carriers that have come up with these deals, we have actually acquired these deals over a span of 4 months. This indicates that yes, this sector is going to grow far ahead, right? So now from this paragraph also you can understand what can be the assumption. इतने सारी अगर हमने एयरक्राफ्ट ऑर्डर किए हैं 500 प्लस 470 दो डील्स हुई है इसका मतलब गवर्नमेंट का या एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर्स वालों का या द कंपनी का what are they assuming, what are they speculating, what can we infer from all this that yes the number of flyers will further grow. ठीक है सो प्री पैंडेमिक पीक से सरपासिंग का मतलब हो गया उसके ऊपर से भी चले जाना पास हो जाना. We'll take this in the vocabulary section. I'll break it up and see. So here you have the main idea here that the two acquisition deals over a span of 4 months display optimism. And about what? That it is in the second place, that India is in the second place in the aviation sector. Deeply ingrained, that is. Significantly, the two deals come at a time when the India aviation outlook has run into some rough weather, triggered by the unprecedented surge in fares as passenger traffic picked up this year. Right. Now, it is some rough weather. Why? Because unprecedented मतलब इसके पहले नहीं हुआ था ऐसा. Surge has increased in the fares because the number of people going by flight has increased. The number has increased. The fare has also been increased. With gophers grounding now stretching way longer than initially expected and hopes of Jet Airways revival running into fresh headwinds, there is concern that India's domestic aviation market is heading in the direction of a duopoly, that is market leader Indigo and the Tata Group Airlines Air India. Vistara, and AIX Connect. SpiceJet is still grappling with financial troubles, and the fledgling Akas Air is still too small to offer a meaningful challenge. So, this part of the paragraph is giving you that there is to be a duopoly now. Why? Because the rest of the aircrafts are somehow struggling to keep pace, and these two, that is Air India and Indigo, right? These two are coming up. That is the Tata Group Airlines with Air India, Vistara, and the Connect. These two are growing, uh, prospering in such a manner that there'll be a duopoly in the market. So the fledgling means a newborn. Newborn नहीं होता है, but newly established जो भी कोई company होती है उसे fledgling कहते हैं. For Indigo, which dominates the Indian skies with a market share in terms of passengers carried of over 60%, this new Airbus order basically ensures a steady supply of aircraft for the carrier till 2035 and equips it to consolidate its position on the leaderboard in India's booming aviation market. Right? So this is again an inference or an assumption, कुछ भी आ सकता है इसमें से कि इंडिया का जो एविएशन मार्केट है that is going to be there prospering, and this aircraft Indigo will be there till 2035, still at the top. So if I join the dots, it will be like unprecedented rough weather, right? And then revival running into fresh headwinds, मतलब ये hopes भी है. यहाँ पे तो कुछ भी नहीं है, कट कर देते हैं यहाँ पे कि these two are there, like taking the point from all these examples that there is no um, company now, that is aviation company, that is now going to give a challenge or to be a rival to these two companies, that is Tata Group Airlines and Indigo. So these are here to stay, right? Dominating already, Indigo dominating, fine, and maintaining its position till 2035. That is what is assumed to be. The budget carrier is to also receive 480 planes from its earlier orders by the end of this decade, which could mean that the airline will be receiving close to 1,000 planes by 2035. Many of those aircraft would be used to retire older aircraft, of course. Of course means there are many aircraft which will be of no use or old now, so they will retire. So, in cumulative terms, Indian carriers have a fleet strength of over 700 aircraft, less than half of the 1,500 aircraft with American Airlines, the biggest of the four major carriers of the US aviation market. Delta and United have around 1,300 aircraft each, and Southwest Airlines has some 800 aircraft. जितना डेटा दिया होता है, हाँ डेटा पढ़ना तुम्हारा मैथ्स में काम आता है, लेकिन डेटा पढ़ना यहाँ पर in the article you should be able to understand what is this data indicating. So this data is indicating the number, of course, that Indigo will have around 2035. With annual passenger capacity in the six major metropolitan cities likely to nearly double to 420 million passengers by 2030, and the government redoubling efforts to create aviation hubs in India, starting with Delhi, the two aircraft deals could well be another nose-up moment for the country's aviation sector. Nose-up moment का मतलब होता है इसे नाक ऊंची करने वाला. तो नाक ऊंची करने वाला का मतलब होता है कि अपनी इमेज बढ़ाने वाला, और to bring name and fame. उसे laurels कहते हैं, to bring laurels to the country, right? So achieve something. If you can say this, so that means to bring laurels is an idiom. That means what? Name and fame. Okay. So therefore, it is called a nose-up moment. So now, what do we have in the main point here? So the number of aircraft carriers that the company is going to have would be around 1,000, right? And this is going to affect the name of a country. So these two aircraft deals could well be another nose-up. उसका basic passenger क्या basic पॉइंट ही ये है कि ये डील्स हमने क्रैक किए हैं 4 months में, एंड देन दीज आर डील्स विच आर गोइंग टू राइट आर नेम इन गोल्डन लेटर्स इन द एविएशन सेक्टर. ऐसा करता है, सुनहरे अक्षरों में अपना नाम लिखना. So two aircraft deals, Indigo and Air India, point to the potential of India's aviation market, but fears of a duopoly remain. Here the author says fears. Why? Because the others are going out. उसने कहा था तीनों चारों का. ठीक है, स्पाइस जेट अभी स्ट्रगल करती है, गो एयर अभी कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा, जेट्स प्रॉब्लम दे रही है. ठीक है, आकाश एयर इज अ फ्लेजलिंग, अ न्यूली वन. सो ही एलिमिनेटेड ऑल, कभी चैलेंज देने वाला कोई नहीं है. So what can be inferred that there would be duopoly there. No aviation, no company as such now has a potential or is worthy of, say, becoming a rival equivalent to the Indigo and to the Air India, right? And therefore duopoly would be there. So coming to the vocabulary now. Aviation sector हमने पढ़ा है, तो you have the word aves here. Aves means birds. So those who can fly. राइट, उसे बोलते हैं एव्स या एविएशन सेक्टर या एविएटर. ऐसी गाड़ी जो कि उड़ सकती है, इन द सेंस वेरी राइडिंग वेरी स्मूथली. Duopoly, you can understand, we have the word here duo. Duo means two, right? We have monopoly. Mono is single, one. Then we have oligopoly. So oligopoly is a few, right? So government, it is a government also. Like duopoly would be the rule of the two people. Monopoly would be the rule of only one single person, and oligopoly would be the rule of many. Now this rule is related to market. So who is going to rule the market? If there are two companies, Apple and Samsung, duopoly. बाकी सब आती हैं जाती हैं चले जाती हैं. That is it. Monopoly if only Apple is ruling. Oligopoly if there are few. In that way, it would be the market ruled by a few companies. Revival is to making it alive again. Revive में हमारे पास viv word है. Viv means life, right? So revive is to bring to life again. So it was almost in a very, say, in such a condition that it's about to die. ठीक है, अगर अबाउट टू डाई वाला है, जैसे इकोनॉमी हो सकती है, उसे मोरिबंड कहते हैं. आई एम राइटिंग इट हियर. मोरिबंड इकोनॉमी मींस अबाउट टू डाई वाली. अब इस कंडीशन में अगर कुछ है, राइट, so we need to inject more liquidity, we need to take a few measures so that our economy is then revived. उसे फिर से जान डाल दिए ऐसे. अदरवाइज मोरिबंड मतलब अबाउट टू डाई वाली होती है, स्टैग्नेंट होती है, फ्लैटलाइंड हो सकती है, but then उसे रिवाइव करना आना चाहिए. So though it is a simple word, but understand where all it can be used. So viv is life, and with the word viv we have vivacious, या आई थिंक सो हमने कल किया था, बट इसकी क्वालिटी हो जाएगी विवासिटी. राइट, विवेशियस इज cheerful, full of life, lively, mirthful. बहुत सारे वर्ड्स हो जाते हैं ऐसे. और रिवाइव, रिवाइटलाइज, ये भी विव और वाइटल दोनों हो जाते हैं विथ. नोज अप मीन्स अ मोमेंट ऑफ प्राइड, वे यू फील प्राउड. वो वाला घमंड वाला नहीं, गर्व वाला. राइट, योर ग्रैपलिंग इज लाइक स्ट्रगलिंग विथ समथिंग, grappling in the truck, trying to catch hold of something. Fledgling will be a new something that is just a beginner. ऐसी कंपनीज होती हैं. ऑप्टिमिज्म you all can understand. Escons is deeply ingrained. राइट, कंसोर्शियम ग्रुप हो जाएगा. एक्विजिशन को हम अक्वायर से रिलेट कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, हेडविंड्स हमने उसमें ट्रबल में देखा था. क्यूमुलेटिव इज जॉइंटली. Surpassing me, we have the root. Surpassing is like going over it, beyond, right? So you have the word sir, SUR, sir is beyond. और वैसे भी आप रिलेट कर सकते हो सर से, ठीक है? तो surrealism, going beyond the reality, going beyond realism would be surrealism, right? Surmount, surmount का मतलब होता है overcome करना. Surmountable problems, you can overcome those problems, otherwise they are unsurmountable. ऐसे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जिनको आप ओवरकम नहीं कर सकते हो तो वो अनसरमाउंटेबल हो जाएगा, ठीक है? प्री पैंडेमिक या नहीं, पैंडेमिक से पहले, फाइन, एवरीबडी नोज दिस, बट आई रोट दिस वर्ड सो दैट आई कुड गिव यू द मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड पैन, दैट इज ऑल ओवर, right? So you have the word pandemic. Understand why? Because pandemic was spread everywhere in the world, not particularly in a region or not in a particularly in a particular climate. ठीक है? तो इसलिए वो हर कहीं पे हर किसी क्लाइमेट में था, इसलिए उसे पैंडेमिक कहा गया, उसे एपिडेमिक नहीं कहा गया, राइट? सो दैट वाज द रीजन. एपिडेमिक एंड पैंडेमिक, देयर इज अ डिफरेंस. पैन पेनेसिया होता है. अ पेनेसिया मीन्स अ क्योर ऑल, ठीक है? हर बीमारी का इलाज जो होता है, जैसे ना रामबाण इलाज कहते हैं, तो वो रामबाण इलाज होता है एक पेनेसिया, ठीक है? देन पेनोरोमा व्यू, राइट? यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दिस पेनोरोमा व्यू, पेनोरोमिक. जब आप क्लिक करते हो फोटोग्राफ्स अपने मोबाइल से, तो आपके पास एक ऑप्शन भी आता है कि आप पूरा एक साथ ले लो, right? So it is not only one single that you are taking, but you are taking the whole picture together in a single frame. So that is called a panoramic view, right? And then of course pan American Airlines हो सकते हैं, panoptic vision होता है, right? Taking everything into consideration, seeing all it, in a single go, that is panoptic vision, right? So you can understand the use of pan now. And unprecedented, something that has not been preceded, पहले नहीं आया है. So it is the new ones that is called unprecedented, right? So that's all for today, and I hope, and we'll just see what we have done. Aves में एक word आ जाता है root. Viv एक word है दूसरा. SUR sur हमने किया, and then pan हमने किया 4. Then fine. एक AC, इसमें अगर I gave you the word moribund, but then you can understand if I take this word again, so more will be near death condition, right? Then you have the word mortal, you have the word immortal, you have morbid, and you have the word morose. And of course, moribund I have written already, but I'm writing it here again. Here it is. Right? So, more भी एक word हो गया तुम्हारे पास. Pan word हो गया. ठीक है. That's all for today, I think. You should be able to write down at least these root words. If you know the meaning of the words, fine. जो भी word तुम्हें नहीं आता है, kindly write that down in your notebook and revise it only on Saturday, Sunday. You don't have to feel, as I've said this again often, that do not take it as a burden. So thank you and all the best. See you tomorrow. Have a logical day ahead.